Hello and welcome to the Adventures of LBZ. I'm your host, Lance Collins, and in today's video, I will be building from a crate a 2021 Honda CB1000R Black Edition. If you are new to this channel, please make sure you hit the subscribe button, and if you like this video, please make sure you hit the like button. And as you can see, this thing is pretty trick. It's got lots of little billet add-ons to it that are already installed on the bike. The wheels are blacked out and then have every other spoke kind of has a flat spot cut into it, and you can see the aluminum through it. Very cool bike. I get to ride it at the end, and I wish I could have taken it out down the road, but this one was already sold. I was waiting on it. I would have loved to take this bike out and actually stretch it out and see what she had, but we'll get another one in soon enough. But I'm going to go ahead and start with getting the mirrors and the rear seat cowl out of the bike. I'm going to open this box up here, and it'll have all the little accessories in it that I need to put on here. And if you're new to these PDIs, I have to play some music in the background with a voiceover. I can't use the audio from my work. There's 3 different radios going at once, and also just for other people's privacy in the workspace so I can keep doing these videos. Also, you'll see that I'm not using my normal mini Griptilian. I'm using a bug out with the mini Griptilian belt clip on the back side. I didn't really like the short one. Just decided to retire the other daily driver since I have like 5 or 6 different Benchmades, and pick one up I've never used, so we'll try this thing out for a while. So what was all in the box was the mirrors, and then you had some hardware for the seats, which was a couple washers, the bolts to put the seat on, and these grommets that go into the seat. You'll see that later. To take this crate apart, just like any of the other ones, anything that's attached to the handlebars or triple tree is at 12mm, and the rest of the crate bolts are going to be 10s. Also, there's a 12mm that's down in the foot peg brackets, which you'll see I'll use different hardware that was in the box with the mirrors later on in the video to install back in the holes. There's also a rear cowl that goes on the back. You can take the rear seat off and put the cowl on, or vice versa. And you can remove all the 10mm bolts out of this crate and the 12s that are on the top of the crate. And as long as you leave the side 12s in, you can remove all the sides off of this crate and the bike won't fall over. And as always, I'm going to show most of the uncrating. Some parts I have to have an assistant to come over, like when we're getting the bike out, they're pretty stuck in the crate. So I had to cut that part out because it's got that person in there, and for privacy, they don't want to be in any of the YouTube videos, which I understand, and I want to keep doing these so I'm not making nobody mad. But I took off the tops and the sides, as you'll see, and I just basically put them into a pile in the back that we have for scrap that we empty weekly or daily, depending on how busy or how many bikes we get in at a time. And if you're interested, that is a snap-on 14.4 volt 3/8 impact, and I prefer the Mac impact sockets. You don't have to buy them. You can buy the old Harbor Freighters if you're, not using the tools every single day, on hundreds of different bikes. Then yeah, go ahead, get the Chinese stuff. Um, you'll see it won't last as long as the good stuff. But and again, I am pumping gas here. I'm not going to bore everybody with the whole thing, but I think I had to put like 4 gallons in this guy. No offense on the Chinese tools, but if I got to spend my money on it, it better be USA made. And I did spill probably nowadays I was probably like $3 for the gas, as high as stuff is now. But yeah, it happens every once in a while. And as you can see, I'm going to go ahead and fill this guy up with some fuel. And I'll go ahead and get this plastic off the seat so I can put the key in there and remove the rear seat that's on there. You got to kind of press it forward a little bit and then it'll lift straight up. The driver's seat is not bolted down yet, but it will be. And underneath of the driver's seat, as you can see, was the battery. So I'll go ahead and get that coming out too, and onto my Noco Genius 2 charger. No, I am not sponsored by them, but I like to put that in there because it is a good charger. I paid with my own money for that charger. We do have Honda chargers there, but this thing is killer. I use them here and whenever we're racing, so definitely good. Go ahead and put the Tim Brook Honda keychain on there for work. And they actually did pretty good this time with this battery. It is easy to get out. I could see somebody who's not, mechanically inclined, they could still get the battery out. Just have to remove the 2 Allen bolts from underneath the seat, and you can take the strap off and get the battery out of it and replace it if you ever have to while you're out on the road, or if it is dead at your house in the future. But as you can see, if you get this bike from us, we charge them up, make sure that they are fully tested. Not bragging or anything, but sometimes I hear the horror stories from people in the comments of getting their bikes from other dealers and batteries being dead, and that just has to go a lot of the time with the technician not doing the full PDI and reading the directions that come with it, or the instructions. As you could see, they were there on my bench. I actually read through the whole thing before I started this bike, so I knew what I was getting myself into on my lunch break. So yeah, and what I just used there was an 8mm Allen socket. I put some blue Loctite on those bolts. I don't even think it would call for blue Loctite, but figured it being a foot peg, I would put the low strength on there just in case. And I ended up going back over these with a torque wrench. I just ran them down in there snug with my impact. If I can, I don't know if I have any video. I think I have video of us torquing it, so I'll try to look at the numbers on my torque wrench so I can give you what they are, but I can't remember if I did it or not. Yeah, I did. I know I did the bars here. I didn't have anything for that. I think I set them right around 14. That's where I had it. Just where it felt kind of good, not, don't break the triple clamp on it. And what I'm doing now is checking the oil. I thought my camera would have picked up the sight glass on it there, just making sure the cap's on tight. The oil cap's pretty cool looking too on this. They've looks like they cut a little design in order to kind of match the cutouts and billet stuff on the bike. It looks pretty cool. I don't think it's billet. I think it's plastic. But now time to put the air in the tires. Front was 36 and the rear was 42 PSI. Also fixing the boot on the spark plug, just attention to detail. This bike is awesome, so I wanted to look really cool. It was kind of popped off the side, and you can kind of see down in the spark plug well there. So I just straightened it up and put it back how it was supposed to be. And I don't mean to hound this, but 95% of my views are from people who are not subscribed. So if you could, please hit the subscribe button. It'd be awesome. And I'm going to use the air blower to blow this bike off. Make sure there's no pieces of metal or metal flakes from the crate or anything stuck to it from shipping. That way when I wipe it down here, finalize it with the Honda polish, it doesn't scratch. Also checking my chain, making sure it's where it's got to be, and it is good. Now I am getting my electrical contact cleaner out from Maxima, and I'm going to wipe these rotors off. That is not as harsh as the brake clean, and I don't have to worry about it taking anything off of the actual wheels or painted surface themselves there, and not catching on fire because it evaporates a little faster than the other stuff, so don't have to worry about it lingering around, and later whenever somebody hits the brakes it catches on fire. I'll do the same to the rear, but it's a little difficult to do, so I was trying to figure out a way to get in there. I was kind of just spraying it down here on this side, and then eventually I ended up having to go to the other side of the wheel and reach in around the chain and try to clean it that way. The battery is done, it's charged up, and I'll get the bolts from the tape that they wrap around these things, like it's got to be in some crazy packaging during shipping. I get it's got to be a certain size, but my God, it's always a pain in the ass to get the screws and the nuts out of the packs that they come in. And the terminals on these, Honda actually did a good job. They're bent the correct ways. You're not fighting them to get on the battery. So, yay Honda for the wires being the correct direction now. You'll see I accidentally pulled the strap off of its hook whenever I went to go strap it across the battery there, just right there. And so what I did is I went and got a little small Phillip and put the strap back below the battery and then just pushed it over on it. There's a clip in there, pushed it over with that rather than have to take the two Phillips back out of the battery and remove the battery to hook it back in there. So if you ever do that, just note that all you need is a little small screwdriver like this, flathead, and you can push it back on and hook it pretty easy, and then hook it back onto the other side of the battery strap holder. Those are the rubber grommets that go into the driver's seat, and there's two posts that stick up on the frame right there that slide in between those two grommets, and then you'll have a bolt and washer that hold the seat down in the front that cover the battery. Other thing that came out of that pack was like a black rubber band, and I used it to put the owner's manual and the tool kit on the stock seat cushion that was there. You can put it in the tail section. You'll see there's a little bit of a space there, and they actually tell you to put it there, but I hook it to the seat or the passenger seat with the strap there, just so that it's not flying everywhere. Plus, most people, unless they're riding with a passenger all the time, they're going to have that cowl on there. So we'll leave that owner's manual at home. Probably it's going to do its best there if somebody actually reads it. The toolkit, it's limited. I doubt most people is going to be doing too much with the toolkit that's in there, but we'll let the customer decide. He can see it. It's on the bottom. We'll show it to him whenever we deliver the bike to him. We'll go over the whole bike and show him where everything's at, and he can decide if he wants to put the toolkit into the back underneath the rear seat cowl. The display is amazing on this. There's so much that you can do to it. I could make a whole video just on the display alone, but at the end you'll see I kind of go through the different stuff that's on there. I do it quick at the very end of the outro. So if you want to see more on that, just comment below. I can make a video on the display. It will take you a while to get used to the control for the display, but that's why you have your owner's manual. Read the owner's manual, and it will tell you everything. Everything you need to know. If you get it from us, we're going to go over it and show you as much as we can whenever we're delivering it. But that's not to say that if you get it somewhere else or get it used, you're not going to know how to use everything on it without reading the owner's manual in it. Go ahead and install the mirrors on the bike. Like a lot of mirrors, these are 14 millimeters. It has a base that screws into the bar, and then the mirror screws into that with a locking nut on top. Both are 14s. Now time to get the microfiber out and the Honda polish cleaner, and we'll go ahead and give this a quick wipe down. I'll do everything but the grips and the seat on it. We'll wipe the whole thing down and make sure that there's no fingerprints on it from whenever I was just doing the setup on it. Get the rear cowl section. Not a whole lot, just anything that I've touched there or, may look dirty or dusty, I'm going to go ahead and wipe it down with that stuff. Doesn't really hurt too much of the bike. Actually, it doesn't really hurt it at all, but yeah. And actually, the side case there, that little billet piece is a little sharp there. So if you do get one of these, just watch it. I guess whenever they cut that in there, the machining is still a little sharp on it. It gave me like a paper cut. And now the walk around. This bike, you'll see it's got some fancy wheels on it, 2-disc front, and you can see there's a quick shifter on the shift linkage there. I'm zooming in on that. That's pretty awesome for a factory bike. There's billet pieces that are on the foot controls. Comes with a cowl with the CB logo in it. The new gauge on it is pretty awesome. You can switch out all of your display options there and have them all in different spaces and like a F1 style. I'll show it kind of at the end. The lights are all LED. Single-sided swing arm. Exhaust is all blacked out. Again, it's got the billet cutout pieces there and all the cutout pieces on the engine. And this is it, the 2021 Honda CB1000 Black Edition. Get ready to do a first startup and do a little ride around the parking lot. Controls on this, you got your brake, clutch, high beam, low beam, and pass. Different modes for stuff on the screen, as you'll see, if you can see it in the light out here. You'll have your tachometer, your fuel range, trip, AB, different modes with the switch here. Will get you in different displays. Shows you user mode. You get sport mode, standard, rain mode. The user one is kind of custom settings. So, and we'll go ahead and start this guy up and. Sounds pretty good. Bike does have a quick shifter, so you can see I'm going through the gears without any clutch. As long as you're above, I think it's like 1700 RPMs, it'll let you shift into the next gear with no clutch. Definitely got a ton of power. And that's going to be it for today's video. If you're new to this channel, please consider hitting the subscribe button. Why? Because this is the place to be for all your power sports needs. Also, if you like this video, please make sure you hit the like button. Thanks and have a great day.